Hello, sweet soul. Welcome to the Daily Exhale. I'm Julianne Arce, and today we're exploring two deeply healing yoga practices, Yin Yoga and Restorative Yoga. These styles may seem very similar on the surface as they both focus on slowing down, deep relaxation, and long-held postures, but they serve very different purposes for the body and the nervous system. If you've ever wondered which practice is best for you, when you should choose Yin and when you should choose Restorative, then this episode will give you some clarity you need to make the right choice for your body and your energy levels. For years, I resisted Yin and Restorative Yoga. I loved movement. I loved feeling strong in my practice, flowing from one pose to the next, building heat and pushing myself. Slowing down, it felt like it was a waste of time. Why would I want to just sit in stillness? Why would I spend a whole class stretching when I could be doing something? Looking back, I realize now that I wasn't resisting the practice. I was resisting stillness. I was uncomfortable with rest. I had internalized the idea that if I wasn't actively working towards something, I wasn't making progress. But over time, my body started to speak to me. I felt tight, fatigued, and mentally drained. Even though I was practicing regularly, no matter how strong I got, something always felt tense. I didn't realize that I was pushing through my practice the same way I push through life, without stopping to listen, without allowing myself to soften. The first time I took a Yin class, I really struggled. I didn't quite get it. I felt restless. I wanted to move. Holding a stretch for 3, 4, 5 minutes. It really felt unbearable. But something inside me knew this was exactly what I needed to do. To sit with discomfort, to breathe through resistance, and to allow my body to open up on its own time. Then I tried Restorative Yoga, and this was a whole different kind of challenge. Unlike Yin, where I felt sensation, Restorative asked me to do nothing. No stretch, no effort, just receive, and that felt even harder. But little by little, I let go. And what I found was that the more I allowed myself to rest, the more energy I had. The more I slowed down, the more I actually progressed in my practice. The more I softened, the stronger I became. And that's why I wanted to share this with you today. Because if you, like me, have resistance to slowing down, these two practices might be exactly what you need. Yin Yoga is the practice of deep stretching and stillness. Yin is a slow, passive practice that involves holding deep stretches from anywhere from 1 to 5 minutes. It targets the fascia, the ligaments, the tendons and joints rather than the muscles. Unlike Vinyasa or Hatha practice, Yin is not about flow or muscular engagement. Instead, you're asked to completely relax your muscles so that the stretch can move into the deeper connective tissues. When you hold a stretch for an extended period of time, the fascia and connective tissues lengthen, improving mobility and flexibility over time. The nervous system slows down, helping to create a meditative state of presence. Holding poses at the edge of sensation trains the mind to sit with discomfort without resistance. Energy flows through the meridians from Chinese traditional medicine, is improved, bringing balance into the body's internal systems. I wanted to go over when to choose a Yin practice over some of the other traditions. If you feel stiff or tight, especially in your hips, your spine, or your hamstrings, the next time that you might choose it is if you want to increase flexibility and joint mobility. If you enjoy a deep stretch and are okay with mild discomfort. Also, if you want to develop patience and mindfulness and stillness. Finally, choosing yin when you feel restless and need a practice to slow you down while you're still feeling productive. Here are a couple of common yin postures as well. So we have our butterfly pose, dragon pose, which is a low lunge, a sleeping swan, which is very similar to pigeon pose, and caterpillar pose, which is a seated forward fold. In yin, we also practice sphinx or seal pose, a gentle back bend. Additionally, I want to go over when to not practice yin. If you're feeling exhausted or overstimulated, or are already stretched beyond your capacity, yin might not be the best practice of choice. Holding deep stretches when you're energetically depleted can sometimes feel too intense. In this case, practice for restorative yoga. Now you're probably wondering, what is restorative yoga? Restorative yoga is the practice of deep rest and nervous system healing. Restorative yoga is a practice of pure relaxation. Unlike yin, which involves deep stretching and sensation, restorative is about supporting the body completely so that there's no effort. In this practice, you'll use props like bolsters, blankets, blocks, and straps to fully support the body in each pose, allowing your muscles to completely relax and your nervous system to shift into a parasympathetic rest and digest state. Let's go over the science of restorative yoga when the body is fully supported. At this state, the nervous system moves into deep relaxation, reducing cortisol and stress hormones. The heart rate and blood pressure decrease, promoting states of healing and recovery. Muscle tensions dissolve, helping with chronic pain and nervous system dysregulation. The brain shifts into alpha and theta waves, the same state as a deep meditation or sleep. Let's go over when to choose restorative yoga. Restorative yoga is great if you feel burnt out, overwhelmed, or emotionally drained. You are recovering from an injury, illness, or chronic pain. You struggle with anxiety, insomnia, or nervous system dysregulation. You need a practice that prioritizes pure rest and stillness. You want to feel completely supported, nurtured, and held. If you have resisted slowing down, I see you. I have been you, and I want to invite you to try it anyway. Let yourself stretch. Let yourself rest. Let yourself receive. And thank you for sharing this moment with me. If you found this podcast valuable, I invite you to share it with a friend or somebody else that could find use in it. Until next time, many blessings, sweet friend.